Hello from Cape Town, South Africa. The title of our presentation today is Towards Sustainable Youth Development, Social Work and Social Development Responses and Approaches. My name is Khosi Kubeka. I am a senior lecturer in the Department of Social Work and Social Development at the University of Cape Town. One of my roles is to convene an honors in social development program. I'm also the director for the Social Intervention Research Unit in the department. I'm here with my colleague, Dr. Campbell.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emma Campbell. I'm a lecturer in the Department of Social Work and Social Development at UCT as well. I coordinate the Bachelor of Social Work final year research project, and I'm a steering committee member on the African Network of Environmental Social Work.
For our presentation today, we are going to discuss and outline our proposed 5-year research project on sustainable youth development in the context of social work and social development in South Africa. The project began at the start of this academic year and is set to continue until 2030. Each year, we will engage on a different theme related to youth development in the context of climate change and sustainability within social work and social development fields of practice. The data collected each year will be consolidated at the end of 2030 with the hope of creating more contextually and culturally appropriate knowledge on sustainable youth development. This is the agenda for our presentation today.
So climate change is one of the most pressing contemporary challenges with disproportionate impacts on youth and significant implications for their social, economic, and developmental trajectories. Young people are expected to experience the most severe long-term consequences of climate change, particularly in vulnerable communities within the global south, otherwise known as the global majority context. Despite growing recognition of these challenges and the developmental implications of climate change for youth, youth remain significantly insufficiently understood within the fields of social work and social development, especially in contexts marked by structural inequality and limited adaptive capacity. In South Africa, where intersecting vulnerabilities such as poverty, unemployment, and social inequities intensify the impacts of climate change, there is a pressing need for evidence-driven approaches to sustainable youth development. Current knowledge gaps persist regarding how young people navigate climate-related challenges with an increasingly volatile environmental landscape. Furthermore, existing research tends to focus on isolated themes or single-year studies, limiting opportunities to understand how youth experiences evolve over time. This gap underscores the need for a comprehensive examination of the interface between sustainability and youth development. A 5-year repeated cross-sectional study offers a unique opportunity to generate holistic, contextually grounded insights into how young people in South Africa, or the global majority, respond to, interpret, and are shaped by climate-related change. By exploring a series of interconnected yearly research topics, the study will contribute to a richer, more integrative understanding of sustainable youth development.
The overarching research question that we have is informed by the African Union Agenda 2063 for Africa. We want vision. So in this study, we asked, how do social, educational, cultural, and environmental processes shape sustainable youth futures over time towards the realization of this vision? So the sub-research questions include a variety of elements such as youth understanding and experience of sustainability and livelihoods, knowledge and skills for sustainable development and a just transition, indigenous knowledge systems and climate resilience, youth leadership, climate justice, and future governance, and finally, how intersecting identities influence sustainable development pathways. We have developed 5 themes that are going to be explored each year. In 2026, the theme is youth perceptions of climate Sustainability and Livelihoods. This is a baseline study that is underway where we are using a convergence parallel mixed methods design, the qualitative aspect of it being a qualitative systematic literature review that focuses on youth from the global south, and the quantitative aspect being an online survey that focuses on South African university students. For 2027, the theme will be education and skills for a green economy. For 2028, the theme will be youth, indigenous knowledge and climate resilience. 2029, the theme will be youth, leadership and climate justice. And in 2030, we will focus on gender and intersectionality in sustainable development. Please note that the design for each year will be determined by the findings for the current year.
While the theoretical lens applied to each research year may differ, the 5-year study is anchored in two overarching perspectives: the Afrocentric theory by Asante 1980 and critical climate justice by Sultana 2022. The Afrocentric theory is important as it decenters the Eurocentric worldview and positions African indigenous knowledge at the center of research. This is vital in our context for rethinking contextually appropriate and sustainable youth futures in the global south or global majority context. Critical climate justice is also an important theoretical lens as it foregrounds inequitable vulnerabilities and localized experiences reinforced by political and economic injustice within the global climate crises. Together, these perspectives emphasize the importance of centering African agencies while amplifying youth voices in addressing systemic injustices that shape their developmental trajectories. While the 5-year study will be grounded within these theoretical foundations, each annual research theme may be guided by additional appropriate theoretical frameworks. So, for example, in the 2026 or the current research project, there's an element that looks at youth livelihood aspirations, and so we will be looking to include the Sustainable Livelihoods Framework by Scroons 1998.
As mentioned earlier, the proposed research study is a repeated cross-sectional study. According to Steele 2008, a repeated cross-sectional study involves observing or exploring a phenomenon over an extended period, but collecting such data from new independent representative samples, allowing researchers to understand trends, changes, and patterns related to a given population. This differs from longitudinal studies, which typically collect data from the same participants over an extended period of time. For the purpose of this study, a repeated cross-sectional design will be utilized to explore sustainable youth development among the population of youth in South Africa, the aim of which is to reimagine sustainable youth futures towards the Africa we want vision. Over the 5 years, each annual research project will adopt either a qualitative or a mixed methods approach, depending on the appropriateness for that topic. At the end of each thematic year, youth-centered workshops will be facilitated, where findings will be disseminated and knowledge will be co-created with youth, aligning with the participatory action research approach, also known as PAR. PAR is a collaborative process where the communities involved become active change agents. The overall goal is not only to gain more contextually appropriate and Afrocentric insight surrounding the meanings of sustainable youth development in this context, but also to amplify youth voices and provide a platform for them to engage and understand the social, cultural, and behavioral meanings they attach to their way of being in the world. In the long term, creating this type of knowledge and engagement provides opportunities for transformation towards more climate resilient youth in the global majority. For the purpose of this study, the study population of interest is youth in South Africa and or representative of those in the global majority. The focus will be on those in the social social work and social development disciplines. Over the 5 years, the study population will remain consistent, but the sample and sampling procedure may vary depending on the appropriateness for that annual research theme. Typically, the sample characteristics for this study will remain the same in that they will include youth over the age of 18 years old who are able to provide informed consent to participate in the study. The youth must either identify as South African or any other nationality within the global majority context. These characteristics will ensure the study results are reflective and appropriate for the intended context in which sustainable development is to be understood. Various data collection approaches will be used across the duration of the 5 years and will depend on the annual research themes or topics. Some of the data collection approaches and instruments that will be used over the 5 years will include surveys, questionnaires, interviews, focus groups, and systematic literature reviews. The data analysis techniques will depend on the data collection approaches. The intention of adopting a broad range of data collection approaches and analysis techniques is to ensure a variety of data aimed at informing a more holistic and contextually appropriate understanding of sustainable development in South Africa.
So because this is a proposed 5-year study and it has only started in 2026, we do not yet have results for the study, but we do have some anticipated outcomes. The 5-year research study seeks to generate evidence-based insights that strengthen sustainable youth development within the context of climate change, with particular attention to the roles of social work and social development practitioners. Through its repeated cross-sectional mixed method and systematic literature review components, the study aims to produce both tangible and intangible outputs that contribute meaningfully to global change and emerging green economy priorities. Tangible impact outputs are expected through the development of annual data sets, systematic literature review outputs, and analytical tools that track how youth navigate the various thematic issues that we've discussed over time. These outputs will provide comparative, evidence-rich baselines that can inform policymakers, educators, and practitioners concerned with climate resilience development and particularly youth development. From year 1 to year 5, the research project will generate products such as a conceptual framework for sustainable youth development, Indigenous knowledge education and leadership, curriculum integration recommendations, a policy brief relating to youth participation and climate governance, and an inclusive framework addressing gendered and intersectional vulnerabilities. Collectively, these outputs offer practical guidelines for strengthening sustainable youth development in the global majority context. Intangible impacts stem from the project's emphasis on youth agency, participatory research, and shifts in social development practice. By engaging youth as knowledge holders across diverse contexts, the research has the potential to elevate youth voices in climate discourse and enhance their visibility in community-level planning processes. Overall, this research program is designed to generate knowledge that supports more inclusive, equitable, and future-focused youth development strategies in our context. Its anticipated impact lies not only in informing policy, practice, and curriculum innovation, but also in contributing to global change priorities by deepening understanding of how young people navigate, interpret, and respond to climate-related challenges. Through sustained inquiry and cross-sector collaboration, the study aims to strengthen pathways towards climate-resilient livelihoods, enhance youth well-being, and empower youth participation in shaping sustainable futures.
That's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for your attention.
And please feel free to contact us via email if you have any questions.